Kevin Brown on the call, courtesy of Masson. The Orioles win again. Another series by a score of 4-2, improved to 5-1 on the season against the Toronto Blue Jays. You already know, another Baltimore Orioles postgame show. A happy recap coming to you right after this on the Flex Zone podcast. Hit that subscribe button if you're new. Sound off in the comments. Let me know your thoughts on the O's. And go ahead and hit that bell for all notifications. The Baltimore Orioles postgame show, the official postgame show, coming to you right after this. What is going on, Flex Zone family? It's your boy, God's favorite host, the host of the Moist, back here on the Flex Zone podcast, only place giving you sports how you want it, when you need it. And what you need right now is another Baltimore Orioles post-game show, the official Baltimore Orioles post-game show here on the Flex Zone podcast. The Orioles win another series, win another game against AL East rival Toronto. They improve on the season. Now, don't forget, these teams in the AL East, the toughest division in baseball, don't play each other 19 times anymore. They play each other 13 times, and it's more interleague games spread throughout. This means each and every game against your divisional opponents is that much more important. And the Orioles, already sweeping Toronto up there a few weeks back, get it done, winning 2 out of 3 at home. Now 5-1 on the season with 6 games down and 7 to go. The Orioles win again, coming from behind. This team doesn't quit. They embody the fight of the city. They embody the fight of their manager. They don't give up. We always hear 27 outs. It's not over till they get 27 outs. And this team has won again by doing its best work after the fifth inning and beyond. They are the comeback cats. They are the comeback kids because they're a pretty young team. Their 24th come from behind win of the season. The Orioles are now 43-25 on the season. We played 68 games, still have a little less than 100 left. Out of the 43 wins they have, 24 of them, let that sink in, have been from the come from behind variety. Starting pitching. It's always something we talk about with this team. It's been a question mark. It was a question mark coming into the season. This guy that started today, Tyler Wells, learn his name. He's the stopper. He's the guy you put out there every fifth day who puts out a good outing. And he's a mammoth of the man, 6'8". Orioles got a lot of big pitchers who are 6'8". Lanky guy, throws hard. I think really starting to come into his own this season. He gets the win today. He improves to 6-2. I did not have Tyler Wells potentially winning double-digit games on my bingo card this year. I thought last year he did have a very, very good season, and he kind of faded down the stretch and didn't pitch his best, but he was somebody coming into the season that was kind of a guy that you weren't hearing being mentioned in the rotation. And then you hear what happened with Cole Irvin. Glad that he's back. Kyle Bradish was hurt for a little bit. Outside of Kyle Gibson, you've really not had that other guy. No John Means. Kramer has overachieved this year. Wells has overachieved this year. And Wells, probably outside of Gibson, has been the Orioles' second best starting pitcher. He improves to 6-2. 6 2/3 innings, going deep into a game, over 6 innings. 2 earned runs, 1 walk, let that sink in, 1 walk, and 8 Ks, one shy of his career high of 9. Grayson Rodriguez, speaking of pitching, he had a good outing today. Seems like he's hit it in the right direction, potentially to join this team, possibly, maybe after the All-Star break. But Tyler Wells, he was fantastic today. He's one of the players of the game, in my opinion, especially when it comes to pitching and what he's been able to do this season. He's going to win over 10 games. He might get up to the 12 to 15 variety when it's all said and done if he stays healthy and consistently pitches like this, walking 1 guy, striking out 8 guys. The Orioles, Adley Rutschman and Gunnar Henderson. They're the cornerstones of this team, especially on the offense. Adley Rutschman is going to be the starting catcher in the All-Star game. Let that sink in. Probably no surprise there. He's going to be the starting catcher for years to come. He goes deep today. He goes 3 for 5. Home run, RBI, a run, 2 singles. He's hitting 282 in a year. Gunnar Henderson has been red hot as of late, reigning AL Player of the Week. What does he do today? He goes 1 for 4, but he has an RBI. Big time RBI in this game. Gunnar and Adley, they're doing it for this team. You're seeing why they are as good as advertised. Adley hitting a home run from the right side. Gunnar has been mashing the ball, taking what the pitchers have given him, mentally getting it together, and you see his superstardom rise. He could potentially somehow sneak back into the AL Rookie of the Year conversation. The back end of this bullpen. Thank God that Cano and Batista got a couple of days off. They had 5 days off. They better enjoy it because we're going to need them down the stretch. Now, middle relief has been a little bit of a question at times for this team, in my opinion. Vogt, Perez, Brian Baker. They've been a little shaky sometimes. Bauman has been fantastic. Aiken has been shaky at times, but he was good his last outing. Cano and Batista, the Mountain, they're going to be the key to this team sustaining success, especially when they get leads in the 7th, 8th, and 9th innings. So for them to be able to get a week off essentially in the middle of the season is very, very important. Batista gets another save. He has his 18th save of the year. He comes in, gets an out in the 8th, strikes out 2, and closes the door in the 9th. I said he would get 25 to 30 saves. He would probably have close to 25 to 30 by the All-Star break. Cano, he bended a little bit today. He was a little off. Those days off can do that for you. Control and putting the ball a little too much in the strike zone where hitters can take advantage of it. And he bended, but he didn't break. He didn't allow any runs. He held it down till Batista got in, and the Orioles escaped with the win. The scoring effort, Henderson singled to the left. Santander scored. That was the bottom of the first. Jansen had a big, big day for Toronto. And Danny Jansen was basically their offense. Danny Jansen went, what did he go today? 3 for 4, 2 runs, 2 home runs, 2 RBIs, 2 solo shot home runs. So Jansen actually homered in the 3rd. That was a 372-foot shot to left field. And then in the 5th, a 427-foot shot to left. Then Rutschman came back, homered to left, 394 feet from the right side. Man, that left field, I knew it would make a difference when they changed the dimensions of the left field wall, the Great Wall of Baltimore. But you really see that it has helped out both the Orioles and the visitors. Now, if you're hitting a ball 395, 400 feet, it's going to get out of there, as it should. But a lot of long fly ball outs, a lot of doubles that were probably homers 2 or 3 years ago. So the left field wall is definitely helping the Orioles pitching ERA. I would love to see the numbers since the wall has come in. I'm sure the ERA has had to drop. And it's starting to grow on me. I wasn't a fan of them moving it back, maybe because I was just stuck in the old way. But it seems like it's working for the Orioles. It's creating more of a interesting dynamic for both the home and away teams. So it's very, very cool to see. Santander, he singled to right. Hayes scored, Rutschman to 3rd. They were up 3-2 were the Orioles in the bottom of the 6th, and they didn't look back. Santander heating up again. He leads his team in extra base hits. He's doing what he does best. There have been rumors of him being on the trade market. He's a young outfielder who has pretty good defense, a power hitter, can hit for extra bases, driving runs. I'm keeping Santander as long as I can. Now, if it gets a situation where we don't want to pay him, he could have some trade value. But I'm keeping him. We have our best chance to win with him in the middle of the lineup, playing well. He can DH first or outfield. And this next man, Austin Hayes, I got to give it up for Austin Hayes. Coming into the season, he was a guy that was kind of a dark horse for who could be the Orioles MVP. And let's give it up for Austin Hayes. The entire Orioles but Austin Hayes was one of those guys that coming into the season that if he could stay healthy, and he has, he could hit 20 home runs, play Gold Glove caliber defense, steal your 20 to 30 bases, and be a locker room leader. and you're really seeing Austin Hayes mature into that guy. With no Ryan Mountcastle right now, he's on the IL. Austin Hayes is really becoming one of the leaders in the clubhouse. And you look at it, Rutschman's probably going to be the team MVP if they voted. Gunner's probably going to find himself in the conversation, but Austin Hayes is making a strong push, not only for team MVP, but for all-star considerations. Now, I don't know if he's going to make it. It's going to be tough. Plays in left field. You know how it is, but politics and popularity, we'll see. He's not a household name, but Austin Hayes hit a bomb to left, the second longest home run of his career, 439 feet. The Orioles, 43-25, big time win, 5-1, sweeping the Royals, winning 2 out of 3 against Toronto. This team, they find a way to win. You want to have the offensive explosion, score double-digit runs? Okay. You want to have the low-scoring pitchers duel, tight but right outcome? They can do it. You need to come from behind and win multiple runs? No problem. We got it. We're going to do it. No doubt about it. And the crowd is electric. Shout out to the fans. The city's electric. Shout out to the city. This team believes Brandon Hyde has shown us he's the guy for the job. I think we need to back off of him. And with Cedric Mullins' injury, I thought this could be a point in the season where this team could kind of hover around 500 and try to tread lightly above water until he comes back. Aaron Hicks, Ryan O'Hearn, stepping up big time. Like I said, no Mountcastle. Josh Lester. Joey Ortiz is back up here. Let's see what he can do. Colton Cowser may be up here by the All-Star break or after the All-Star break with the Grayson Rodriguez. What happens with D.L. Hall? Michael Givens and Dylan Tate. I don't know if we'll see Tate this season, but Michael Givens. Having Michael Givens that we know here in Baltimore, what he's capable of, yes, he's a little bit older, but what he could provide in middle relief and back into the bullpen would be so great for this team, especially with Cano and Batista the way that they're pitching. So let's put our hands together and hope that and pray that continues for him. The Orioles now will hit the road tomorrow, so they'll have day games all weekend. They're going to Chicago, to Wrigley Field to play the Cubs. I wish I was going to this. This is one of the Cubs. The Cubs Wrigley Field is one of the stadiums I got to visit. So next time I'm going to make that happen. I love the interleague. This is why I like the interleague schedule. They had a day game today. They have a day game on tomorrow, Friday, June 16th at 2:20, 1:20 Central Time. Saturday, they'll do it again at 2:20, 1:20 Central Time. And Sunday, they are on Peacock for their Sunday afternoon MLB Showcase 105 against the Cubs on Sunday, June 18th. Then Tuesday, off on Monday. They got Juneteenth off. They'll go to Tampa for Tuesday and Wednesday, a 2-game series. Tuesday, 6:40. Wednesday is a day afternoon game, 12:10. You guys will probably see me after that game for a little post-game love. And then they return home next Friday to take on the Mariners for 3. Then they have the Reds and the Twins to close out June. So let's see what happens. A nice 5-game road trip. Hey, go win 4 out of 5. Go beat up on the Cubs. We'll see our good friend Trey Mancini. Big shout out to Trey Mancini. We love you, Trey. Congrats to you, but the Cubs are kind of underachieving. I thought they could be a fringe playoff team. Go beat up on them. Win 2 out of 3 there and go or sweep them and split with the Rays. Go 4-1 on the trip and come back home. You're trying to catch the Rays anyway. I mean, now with the win today, the Orioles are 4.5 games back. We'll see what happens with Tampa. They've been struggling a little bit in Oakland, but I'm intrigued. I think the Orioles match up well with Tampa. They already won 2 out of 3 against them here. Let's see what they do down at the Trop. But our players of the game today are Tyler Wells, 6 2/3 innings pitched, 2 earned, 8 Ks, 1 walk, and my boy Adley Rutschman, 3 for 5, 2 singles, a home run. And I got to give Austin Hayes some love too. Vote for Adley Rutschman. Vote for Austin Hayes for All-Star game participants. Adley Rutschman is going to be a starting catcher. This is going to be a start of a trend probably for the next decade. And you got Austin Hayes, a guy I think that could at least possibly be on the reserve aspect as well. And Tyler Wells, 6 2. Where will he be by the All-Star break? Could he get 8-9 wins? We'll see. I'm excited. I'm very excited to see what this team is bringing to the table. I'm loving what I've seen from them. Birdland, they are doing the darn thing, and they are holding it down. Sound off in the comments. Let me know what you think about the Orioles. 43-25 on the season. They are on pace to win over 90 games. Almost halfway there with 2 more wins. They go to Chicago to play the Cubs for 3, then 2 against Tampa, then they return home next week with the Mariners. They got the Reds coming in who are red hot. I'm intrigued to see that matchup. They got a number 1 prospect, De La Cruz. See him possibly in person. And then you have the Minnesota Twins also fighting in the AL Central for first place as well. Sign off in the comments. Let me know your thoughts. Who's the MVP so far? Should Austin Hayes be an all-star? What do you think about Tyler Wells? This pitching staff, Kyle Bradish, Aaron Hicks, Ryan O'Hearn. Mullins, take your time. Get healthy. Rodriguez, keep doing what you're doing down in AAA. You guys know we keep the Orioles coverage on this channel coming. Only place giving you sports, how you win it when you need it. God's favorite host here. Orioles get a win today. Happy recap. Win 42 against the Blue Jays. Improved to 43-25 on the season. 24th come from behind win of the season. They'll be heading to Wrigley Field, historic Wrigley Field, for a 3-game weekend series with the Cubs. Signing off, everybody. Have a great day. Happy recap. Go O's, baby. They are fun to watch. And right now, looks like they're on pace for some playoff baseball. You already know. Hit the bell. Stay tuned. Subscribe if you're new. Hit that like button. Knock it out of the park. Help us out. It costs you nothing. To Flex On Podcast. Only place giving you sports how you want it when you need it. I'm gone, y'all. Have a great day. Go O's, baby.